her cocktail.
Handy photo shoot.
May I have to use the little boy's wee-wee room?
Cat. You want to take his face?
Yes. His face. Oh. The eyes, nose, skin. It's coming off. The face.
You good looking. You're hot.
Welcome back into Full Screen Podcast. I'm your host, Kira Astor, and joining me today, as always, crying into her cocktail while adding the 50th Blu-ray to her shopping cart, is Raymond Ebert. How goes it, Raymond?
I'm going to count my blessings and say that I had the privilege of watching Frankenstein in theaters. I saw Wake Up Dead Man in theaters, and I'm hearing my mother's voice in my head when she would try to calm me through the more turbulent waters of my teenage angst and say, well, if you have nothing good to say,
Say it louder.
write that shit down and refine it and make it fucking poetic, and then read them to fucking filth. How you like me now, Ted?
So this is the perfect segue into introduction of our new segment. So what we're doing for the next few episodes is we're doing a face-off series. Just imagine us, John Travolta, Nick Cage. Just imagine us. Pick one. I'm Nick Cage, obviously.
I don't know if you want to do that because Nick Cage doesn't actually act as Nick Cage for the whole movie.
I know,
He's mostly
I know.
John Travolta.
I know.
Honestly, it's so good. I guess I'll be John Travolta because, you know, I appear to have cop-like tendencies and I will do whatever it takes for my job and then just...
You mispronounce names on stage all the time.
I'm the hugest fan of Adele Dazeem, and I went to see that new Wicked movie with Andre Grandina and Cervix Arturo. Okay, it was a beautiful movie. I enjoyed it very, very much. Very good movie. Makes Face Off look understated with the press tour.
For real though, someone get Cervix some help. That girl needs some help.
Someone get my cervix some help. Like, that is women 2025. Let's go.
Okay, so face off, what is it? You may be asking. So we argue a case, we pick a side, we leave the rest to you. So, for example, it could be Club Chalamet versus everyone else. Mental health, mental wellness.
Why'd you say those two one after the other?
Wall Street Journal doing a profile on Club Chalamet. What has happened?
A cunty photo shoot? Oh
Yes.
my god.
Yes, the little like Forbes magazine pose.
Hey, yo, shout out to healthcare workers all across America. You guys are the realists.
We could argue Sora versus our great human acting icon, Sydney Sweeney, for example. Kevin Feige versus James Gunn. You name it. We're here to argue the cases. And today, what are we doing today, Raven?
Okay, how do I say this the best way? I am arguing for the man that sent Katy Perry into space. He also brought her back, but let's forget that part.
A great man.
Let's imagine
Got
that
married
I'm
this year.
arguing-
Behave yourself.
Congratulations. Much health and happiness to Mackenzie Bezos. I love you, babe. Stay strong, stay beautiful. Apple TV got a whole ass show out here for you where Maya Rudolph pretends to be you. It's you, by the way, Mackenzie. Like, you know that, right? Like, she's a divorced ex-wife of a billionaire doing like fun, cool, weird shit. It's you, Mackenzie. We love you. But yeah, her ex-husband, Mackenzie's ex-husband, he has a streaming service called Amazon Prime.
Never heard of it.
You can also buy like the most bullshit things that AliExpress says were good, bro. They bought MGM, and this is their way of legitimizing themselves and saying, we're a real movie studio. Pay attention to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has got all the other streaming services being like, oh, we can buy studios now? That's what we're doing? Because Ted Sarandos is a poser who has a full head of hair. Fuck you, Ted. Decided, I'm gonna do this too. And in the battle of two absolute slime balls from Silicon Valley, aka the strip of, what should I say? It's just like this was Psychopath Central. He beat out the demon spawn of Larry Ellison to buy Warner Brothers. And so today, Kira and I are arguing in quotes about which one is, I guess, like a better deal for.
Say the title that we have.
Oh my God, what does it say? Studio Murder Showdown, Amazon versus Netflix.
Let's go, baby.
Okay, we're supposed to have some level of neutrality over here. You're like fucking teeing me up for fail. Okay, yeah.
Who is the best murderer? Is it Netflix or is it Amazon?
Yeah.
Right? Who murder studios best?
Who is the dom daddy that will provide the best aftercare? If you're into that type of thing. Like, I guess that's the question.
I mean, I got no follow-up to that. Let's go. First up, Netflix. Why is Netflix the better studio? Not the better one, the best one. Best studio murderer out there. Well, let me tell you, that little bit is hungry. I'm saying Ted Sarandos loves to eat. Reed Hastings loved to eat, but then he had a come to Jesus moment and he was like, you know what? I'm going to go up in the Malibu Hills in a convent somewhere and do some soul searching. I'm kidding. No, he's still on the board. He did not. I know Raven is dying to say something, but I'm going to plow through. So my point with the hunger of Ted Sarandos is like, that's the kind of army hammer hunger. Cannibalism. Yes. He loves to eat people, studios, your hopes, your dreams, just anything that is precious and good in the world. All right, Raven, you may add.
He wants to eat my money. And also, we know that Reed Hastings, he doesn't eat. Let's start some rumors here. Because we all know that a Malibu bitch don't be eating because she's on that Ozempic.
First $1 trillion company. What a time. So, all right. I'm going to go into why they're better. By the way, just a quick recap. We didn't mention this up top, but why are we doing this? Is because Netflix fucking bought Warner Brothers the other day, and they still have to go through the whole process of antitrust. Antitrust? What antitrust? It's 2025, bitch. They are going to get that studio. Warner Brothers, HBO is all under the umbrella of Netflix. Imagine like thinking this in 2015, 2010. It's incredible. Body count. Let's start with Blockbuster. Ever heard of it? Gen Z, Gen A? They haven't. They don't know what I'm talking about. The heart of 1 million Gen Xers were broken in 2014 when Blockbuster closed due to this hip new service called Netflix. And real talk, Raven, I did buy a Be Kind Rewind sticker on Etsy recently, and the seller wrote a whole note about the importance of physical media and the place Blockbuster holds in their growth as a creator and in their journey of education into art and movies. Shout out to Etsy, man. Amazing. Number 2, they have effectively killed services after them, but Netflix is the service that really killed cable TV, aka lean-in TV. Shouts to Zaz, the big Z. Dead, buried, and think like what is related? VHS, DVDs, TiVos, TV guides, all of these, like this ecosystem in the film economy, Netflix really got in there and just murdered, buried all of it. And I was watching Stranger Things, the first 4 episodes that just came out. Fuck Netflix. And they have a whole sequence on going through the plan of a strategy and what they're going to do next. And they're using an overhead projector. And my younger cousin was like, what is this? What is this device? This ancient device? And I was thinking about how seeing VHS and seeing like just hearing about TiVos, DVDs, TV guides, like that must sound like nonsense to them. Like that must sound like, what the fuck are you talking about? So before there was Netflix and chill, your parents were doing it to like VHS tapes, you know? And number
And
3.
also cassette tapes. Come on, let's be inclusive of all.
Let's not
media.
get let's not get
You were
cute,
definitely conceived to a Lionel Richie cassette tape, kids.
of course. Yes. And then number 3, they have murdered release windows and potentially theaters in the future. I mean, so many local studios have suffered because of Netflix. Theatrical releases to PVOD timeline, premium video on demand. So this is when you can rent movies. Used to be 90 days at least. Now, 30 days. So that new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, One Battle After Another, I could have sworn, Raymond, that it was out to rent after like 20 days. I mean, I use that as an example because it's like Warner Brothers movie with like the biggest stars, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio, like one of the American iconic directors. And no, 20 days. Fuck theaters, right?
And let's not forget the other classic that you so love, Sonors. Also had to go through the same thing, even though it was building momentum and making money. It
So
was
much money.
so weird that people were like, okay, let's usher it on to streaming now. Bye. I'm like, hold on, chill, let it play out in theaters. It's
Less than 17% of general population go to the theaters even once a month in 2025. Even once a month. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I can hear Regal, AMC, and your local cinema just like screaming in agony as they're stabbed to death repeatedly. Yep. Ted, he's hungry. Number 4, they've killed healthy consumer behavior and attention span. Again, they're not the only ones, but they did start this train of popular modern consumption of stories in this format. The 3-second next up window is diabolical. Like, give me a chance to take a breath. Even like one breath is not 3 seconds. I teach yoga, I know. How many times have you, Raven, heard someone say, I'll wait until this is on Netflix. I'll wait. It's not that important.
I haven't heard that sentence in full because before they get to the end of it, I have pushed them onto oncoming traffic. So it's usually never finished as a sentence. So I would say 0. I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Remick would approve. I can imagine. Anytime I just picture that scene of Matt Remick among a bunch of doctors just screaming like cinema is more important than your job. Go to the movies.
Seth Rogen, I love you.
I love the studio. If you haven't watched it, guys, what are you doing? Go watch it. Apple TV. They've killed quality remakes. I don't know where to start, but the recent example of that is Avatar. That was so bad that the original creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender, who were originally attached to this project, they were like, take our names off. We are not going to be complicit in this murder. I tried watching it and I wanted to give it a fair shot. I loved this property and I wanted to support new actors, new creators, and I was like, not for me. And I've heard since then that there's a remake of Demon Slayer, live action Demon Slayer remake that they're considering. And my first thought was, may climate change take us all. Raymond is dying right now.
I'm so sorry. I was not. That's hard. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm sorry, Japan.
I'm sorry, you. This is like they killed your god. God is dead, and no one cares.
They've killed ARCs. Is my next point. So ARCs, by which I mean cancellations, honestly. So there's been so many cancellations. Some I wanted to call out: 1899, Shadow and Bone, Warrior Nun. Warrior Nun, I laughed at the title, but apparently it's very beloved. And I swear that just came out. I swear, Raven, and it's canceled. And these stories don't even get a moment to grow with the audience. Like, give us 5 episodes to grow. Canceled, done, buried in the graveyard. And then my last point is Warner Brothers. They're effectively on the road to murder the greatest studio, or one of the greatest studios. Born in 1923, survived a huge transition from silent film to the talkies, entering the world with The Jazz Singer, a pioneering film, right? They've left a tremendous impact on every era, every change of film. Casablanca, Maltese Falcon, Cool Hand Luke, Clockwork Orange, The Shining, Goodfellas, Inception, just decade after decade, these are the movies people study in their film classes. You replicate the camera technique, cinematography, you study acting, you study directing. And now Barbie, they have DC, they have Lord of the Rings, they have The Matrix, Dark Knight trilogy, Harry Potter. it's just alarming to think that that is all going to be under Netflix now, and the command and the respect that HBO holds, right, with its back catalog, the prestige storytelling, the investment into growth of artists is potentially in danger. Like, I want to give the example of Ryan Coogler asking Warner Brothers for Sinners 70 millimeter film cameras, and Warner Brothers was like, you want it, you got it. You know, we support our filmmakers. We're going to put this in theaters. This is a theatrical production. Imagine asking world-class murderer Ted Sarandos.
Didn't he say that Barbie would have had the same impact if it was out on Netflix? Like a fucking freak. Yeah.
I do want to say in my outline to inspire this argument, this case, I have a picture of Ted Sarandos pointing at you, smiling, and with all of his teeth. You can see the bottom teeth a little bit too. And he's saying AI can make films 10% better, not just cheaper. And this is from IndieWire. So my case ends with Amazon may have killed 007, but Netflix is killing an entire industry. I rest my case.
So I think the first thing that comes to mind when you are talking about Netflix really decimating an industry because it was systemically, I think, undercutting all the benefits of physical media because digital access was more equitable. It provided everybody access to the same thing, and it kind of cut down problems of the limitations of physical media, like having to go somewhere and be physically present to buy and browse. And I think ultimately also handle the disappointment of consumers when the product doesn't meet expectations. And I was like, oh, where have I heard that before? Where in the Barnes and Noble have I heard that before? Boy, oh boy, was there another industry that was there before cinema that was like about providing access to information and stories in a physical medium, possibly held between the palm of your hands, printed on like, I don't know, paper or something?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Welcome to Amazon.com. In 1999, a scrawny nerd from the Pacific Northwest. By the way, girls, there's no Edward Cullen. It's all Jefferson Bezos there. Came up with the bold and bright idea that you should be able to purchase books regardless of where you're from, whether you have access to a physical bookstore or not. Fast forward to 2025, where you are either pissing in jars to make the insane delivery timelines guaranteed by a Prime membership, or you are being beaten up by foreign armies and flotillas. There is a certain je ne sais quoi, as I like to call it, of Amazon that just speaks to more efficient killing of independent businesses because it has the wealth, it has the resources to be able to do, and a very unfortunately celebrated history of doing that. And this is the only acquisition of Netflix that we have publicly heard of. Amazon, meanwhile, has literally swallowed up literally anything that comes around to being its, I don't know, perceived competitor. Setting all that aside, I just feel the main argument that I have to put forward is that Amazon Prime does not consider itself to be a gatekeeper of art in any way whatsoever. They literally do not care about making art. They are just making products for consumption. Let me ask you this in all honesty. Between the Love Islands and the endless barrage of Stranger Things promotion to 80s back when they had VHS, so damn wild, but think about the thoughtful things that have come from Netflix, from, Alfonso Cuarón's Roma, to Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I swear I'll name a non-Latino filmmaker in a little bit. Give me some time. But I also, for example, enjoyed Power of the Dog. It was the first Jane Campion film I watched with my mother. And she and I went down a Jane Campion wormhole because this was the platform that gave me access to share that type of film nerdery and beauty with my mother, who is the person that I really connect with on art too. I do not have an equivalent on Amazon Prime because my mother, however, does not share my taste in absolute shit garbage. So she did enjoy War of the Worlds 2025 with. What has Amazon actually produced that is art? I guess Challengers. I don't consider that an Amazon Prime movie. As nightmarish as it would be to sit in a theater full of children watching a Minecraft movie, I have to remind myself that, okay, maybe Gen Z and Gen Alpha get to have this experience of having fun in a fucking movie theater that I still think Netflix will continue to support because they care about that prestige, because they care about Academy eligibility and stuff. Like, for every shitty, terrible, exploitation-filled murder podcast or whatever like nightmare that they want to give to single women living alone, Netflix also does come through with some thoughtful, maybe Oscar bait, whatever it may be, but interesting art. Again, with Amazon Prime, they do not give a shit about that. I think they will be very controlled about what MGM as a studio can do. And I think that they will continue to push for things that can prove to be populist in the box office with, you know, just financial success, but there's nothing that they're going to do to invest in that. Like, they're not going to give the studio more money. They literally bought out MGM because it was starving and anemic. Netflix came in one of the most successful years that Warner Brothers had. They said, oh, Sinners, oh, Minecraft movie, bet. We will take that on. MGM was dying. It literally had James Bond and Elle Woods. I couldn't even think of a second person that literally. Every series that it has come in and picked up, I feel like they have not necessarily nurtured something to the point of creativity that can only bloom in Amazon Prime. Like, maybe there've been a couple of good animation TV shows, but we know how Amazon treats labor. We know that the animation studios are overworked and underpaid. SAG who? DGA who? PGA who? They will have directors starting to pee in bottles. Like, Denis, get your bottle ready, because they're not gonna let you off the hook without making an amazing, by which I mean profitable, James Bond. You take a look at the picture that you have provided of Jeff Bezos. No teeth, no tongue, which again is like incredible choice of imagery. I love that you chose the most inhuman version and you were like, yeah, now tell me that my guy with visible teeth and tongue is more scary than yours.
World class, hungry man, Ted Sarandos is all teeth in the photo that I have in the outline.
Baby, you want me to make my final argument over here? There won't be a Netflix without Amazon. Go find some other web service to host your shit. Oh, wait, you can. We own them all. Jefferson Bezos out. Dude, you're really like, the adversarial judicial system is really fucking with my head right now. I hate it. I hate that I had to defend Netflix in order to present Amazon as the bigger villain, let's say, in this piece.
Okay, I will say great case, but my only rebuttal would be that I think the Barnes and Noble killing of the bookstores and just, it's 2025, and I think Amazon may have been the first, but Netflix took that and is now doing it to scale. Think of 2023 when Netflix, all the stocks were failing, and I think it was 2022 or 2023. Netflix performed really badly. Like, they were one of the worst performers as we were coming out of the pandemic. However, immediately they went to advertising tier, password crackdown. I know Disney announced the password crackdown. I haven't seen any notifications. I haven't seen any kind of systems to get people to sign up for Disney and stop using their parents' accounts. Nothing. Netflix, with efficiency, with scale, within 3 months that they announced globally, they went after it. So I think Amazon established this kind of behavior, but Netflix just does it better. It's the Robert Moses way of doing things.
That is an unrecoverable burn. Like Ted Sarandos,
Robert
get
Moses
yourself
drop,
some fucking
baby.
aloe vera because Kira just fucking burned you. I think to get back to the central question is which one of these streaming services will actually preserve the value of the studio that they acquired? I think Netflix actually knows and cares that the Warner Brothers has gone all the way from The Jazz Singer to Casablanca to The Matrix to Sinners. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Bezos is literally too busy spending your money to go to space to even know 3 movies from MGM. To the fact that he has done so little to preserve the classic movies of MGM, now when you say Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion and the Scarecrow, you don't think of the Wizard of Oz with My Good Judy Garland, but now you're thinking of Wicked. They literally have done nothing to further film preservation. They've done nothing to preserve the flavor of making an MGM movie. We don't even know what that is anymore. To be fair, there is no such thing as a Warner Brothers movie either because they're very much trying to keep diversifying their assets, blah, blah, blah. But
Welcome to capitalist America.
Certified bangers from Warner Brothers that I think that we will probably continue to see as co-productions with Netflix as a distribution system because they're still coming in from the artistic perspective. My argument is that there's no artistic perspective at all from Amazon. They're here to do bullshit like the Tomorrow War and War of the Worlds and episode 100 million of Reacher. Are you watching Reacher, bitch? You will be, because Amazon Prime will directly beam it to your eyeballs if you want to keep getting your medication delivered. So I'm not saying that Netflix is awesome. I'm saying that it is better at trying to preserve the artistic integrity of the people who are working within the studio system than Amazon, because they're not making art, they're making a product. Honestly, there is nothing that is even exciting to me about the new James Bond reboot other than the fact that it's Denis Villeneuve, and even then, I don't trust them to give them the type of freedom that Warner Brothers gave Denis for a Dune Part 2 and then Dune Messiah coming in. Robert Pattinson in an unknown role. The Netflix marketing team is going to put Robert through the worst type of social media platforming, and for that I will be forever grateful.
You don't want to see a prequel on Q? A little sequel on M? Day in the Life of M? Where is 006?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna get that on MGM Prime or whatever the fuck. Is anybody watching that? Who's on MGM Prime? Shout out to the 3 people subscribed to MGM Plus or whatever the fuck it's called.
Listen, all I can say is that imagine a world where The Long Goodbye by one of the greats in American cinema, Robert Altman, is followed by Next Up, Selling Sunset.
Both Robert Altman
Insatiable
and Selling Sunset captures the diverse spirit of America and the Great American Experiment.
Are you going to be able to sleep tonight?
I think so, because I've already canceled all of my subscriptions. I decided to preempt myself for 2026 by instead buying memberships to some of the local museums and art programs in the city.
Raven, you remain, as always, the most unproblematic.
It is a genuine effort, guys. It is not something you're born with. It is definitely Maybelline.
Segueing into the next topic, we're gonna do Film Bro versus Film Bro. Quentin Tarantino versus Timothy Chalamet.
Touch grass as often as possible, no matter if it's winter outside and there's no actual grass to touch. Just go out there, feel alive by feeling the brisk cold air of your city on your skin, and remind yourself that no matter who you are, where you are in your life, you will never be as anxious and miserable as Kira watching a live action adaptation of Demon Slayer on Netflix.
May climate change take us all.
May the sun take us all.
Just swallow us. I will just say it's December. What are you doing? Stop creating shareholder value. Stop working and go watch Oscar movies. Sentimental value, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, baby.
I mean, just watch Sinners again. Sinners and Weapons. What a double feature. Let's go.
Zach Kreger, Warner Brothers. Same Warner Brothers. Netflix. What are you doing? All right, until next time, full screeners. Bye.
And fuck you, Larry Ellison.